Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Bodo Podcast. Now,
Yay!
we got a special guest, two of my old pals from the early days of YouTube. Here we have, I call Drew and Jacob. Guys, do you want to
Yay!
introduce yourself?
I'm Drew. I've known Shaz and Jacob for probably over a decade at this point. And I used to make a lot of Toy Story stuff, and I'm still a huge fan, so I'm glad to be here.
Awesome.
Uh, I'm Jacob. Again, I've known these guys for well over 10 years now. We all met through our mutual love of Toy Story. I also used to make Toy Story videos on my YouTube channel. Still do a little bit, but not really.
So, this is basically like a trio kind of live stream podcast. And this is a special one today because it's a Buzz Lightyear theme. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about things that needs to be in the new Disney-Pixar's Lightyear film. So, me, Drew, and Jacob are going to sort of give out our ideas, see what they need to put in the film. So it goes from characters, it goes to things like in the plot, or maybe even merchandise. But yeah, so relax and listen to our podcast. All right. Now, I'm excited, guys, for this new Buzz Lightyear movie. And I thought it was a dream when I saw that teaser because I didn't know exactly if it was going to be a Buzz Lightyear movie when was it Pete Docter was announcing the Disney
Right.
announcements. I literally thought it was I don't know what it was because I thought he was talking about maybe doing a Star Wars sci-fi movie
hmm
when he said we're gonna do a space movie. And then when I saw the title Lightyear, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my god, this is happening.
Right.
And I bet a lot of you guys' reactions are gonna be similar. Like, this is like
The
just
first
remember.
thing I saw was a picture of Buzz Lightyear, and I was like, wait a minute, what are they doing? And then I clicked on an article, and I was like, oh my god!
Yeah, I saw like the little GIF of the title on Twitter, and I was like, whoa! And I read about it, and I remember I was really excited, but at the same time apprehensive when I heard that it was like Chris Evans and it was going to be like a weird kind of in-universe take on Buzz Lightyear, the cartoon character, rather than Buzz Lightyear the toy.
hmm
But as time's passed, I don't know, I've really gotten into it, and I'm really a lot more excited than I was originally.
We all kind of grew up with the Buzz Lightyear Starkman era, and that's one of my favorite memories as a kid was watching that show and the movie. I remember when I was especially really young, owning the video and the VHS and putting it on for the first time and watching that Pixar Disney intro with all the toys. It was sort of like a Toy Story 3. And
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool seeing like Jesse and Andy's room again and all the toys, like a continuation. And the funny thing is, because I always kind of imagined what would be like an actual Buzz Lightyear movie, but in a 3D kind of form. So
Mm.
it's interesting they're actually doing it, and there is sort of like stuff I am excited about, but sort of scared about because I don't want them to, you know, ruin the story. And there's
Right.
it's a mixture of hype and fear, if you know what I mean.
I
So
hope they keep it tied into like the universe from the cartoon. Like I hope that they keep all of that and don't like change everything.
I really want at least, and I don't think that exactly they're not gonna do this, but I do want some reference or Easter eggs on the Buzz Lightyear Starkman characters. So
hmm
at least maybe they can sort of do a XR cameo or maybe Booster, because I
Yeah,
think
something like
I
that.
know John Lasseter. There's been reports that John Lasseter wasn't really a fan of the Buzz Lightyear Starkman, but I don't think he's in Pixar anymore, and I don't know.
No, he's not.
So we don't want to go to that conversation, but I don't know what like because I know Andrew Stanton he voiced some of the characters in the opening in Buzz Lightyear Star Command. I think he voiced
Right.
Ham. So I think he was like a little bit involved, but I don't know. It'll be cool to at least give a bit of some Buzz Lightyear Star Command stuff for the fans, you know, a
Well, like you
reference.
said, people like us especially grew up with the first two movies and the TV show mainly. I mean, we had to wait like 10 years for the third one, but we grew up with
The fourth one.
yeah, but we grew up equally like with the first two as well as like the animated series and show, and I would love them to have like references to those characters because growing up with them, I learned to really care about them, and I really thought that like the character of Warp was awesome, and like their version of Zurg and things like that. But with the animated series not even being on Disney Plus, I'm kind of worried that they'll just act like that didn't even exist.
Yeah, I
I'm
have the same exact.
hoping they could include that during the release because it's the time when they're promoting any film or it's all about merchandise and promotion. And during that time, they'll do something nostalgic. Because now Buzz Lightyear Starkman is a lot of, like us is growing up that show, and
Right.
I believe that maybe they're definitely going to do something towards that time when that movie comes out. Maybe they're waiting for that a special time to release to sort of get people hyped. Maybe they did it as I think they maybe done it purposely. I don't
Right.
know. This is just my theory, but
That would make sense.
because
Um.
what's the better
So
way to binge watch Buzz Lightyear Starkman getting hyped for a Buzz Lightyear movie because it's all kind of similar
right.
and but yeah, like it's still weird that they didn't even put the movie. And the funny thing is, I still see the DVDs today. Like I'll go to my local Tesco's. I think that's like American's Target or Walmart,
Mhm.
and I still see the Buzz Lightyear Starkman DVD, brand new.
Yeah, I think it could be a like a calculated thing, especially if this the Pixar movie is supposed to come out next year, right?
Yeah, I think next year summer 2022.
I
So
think
I feel like it would make a lot of sense for me because I know a lot of people have been actually clamoring for the animated series and the show and the movie to be on Disney Plus. I could see that happening sometime this year in like
it's like a
hype.
promotion. Yeah, hype.
But I feel like it'll be hard to make the movie without making the show and the animated movie not canon.
Yeah. Well, that's the tricky bit. One thing I am a little bit scared of because I don't want it to. I want it like I don't want it to be like an inspiration of Buzz Lightyear. I actually want it to be Buzz Lightyear. You know. So I didn't
Hmm.
know if Pete Doctor means that this was inspired by the toy. Is it like it's it's a completely different kind of a character.
What I read somewhere was that they said this is the real Buzz Lightyear that the toy is based on.
The way I took it, because I know a lot of people are confused, but the way I took it is that there's a movie that Andy would watch to become a fan of Buzz Lightyear, and this is going to be that movie that
Oh,
Andy would have
Yeah.
watched to become a fan.
let's just say that maybe the animated series is sort of still canon because maybe Buzz Lightyear had this sort of different like the Marvel shows. You have the movie and you have the cartoons. So maybe in
Right.
the Toy Story world, that there's probably loads of Buzz Lightyear merch and cartoons and generations because just remember,
Yeah.
like even in the recent Toy Story tunes, they're still doing Buzz Lightyear Happy Meals. So
Yeah.
maybe Buzz goes from each generation, sort of like evolves into different like properties and different kind of shows and merchandise. So maybe Buzz, in a way, it's still canon. So maybe this is the actual movie, but there's also a series. So that's just maybe a cool theory to look at it.
Yeah. Well, I know we're all big fans of Spider-Man, so I mean, I think it could be similar in the canon to that, to where like there's the Raimi movies, and then there's the animated series, and then there's those kind of things.
Right.
You know what I'm really
That's
interested
exactly
in?
what I was thinking.
You know what I'm really interested in? I'm curious what kind of merchandise we'll be producing, like for us, not in the actual
Mhm.
film, because that's like the Toy Story world. But I'm curious because would they still make the toy version, or would they make an actual human sort of figure like in the film?
I
So
have a feeling they'll probably do both.
I
I've kind of a hot take where I think they're gonna, like Jacob said, I think they'll do both. They'll do like the Lightyear version, and then they'll also like probably reproduce the Toy Story collection, Buzz Lightyear, and things like that. But my big brain theory, everybody wants the Toy Story collection Buzz with the belt. That's like super duper rare. I think making the Lightyear movie is the best time to like reproduce that toy.
yeah, I totally
Shh, I'm
agree.
trying to sell mine. Don't say that.
I want to buy one for not $600.
I
You
wouldn't sell
know,
it for
these
$600,
guys,
not to you.
you know, you both used to do a lot of toys. You know, you collect a lot of good Toy Story figures, and um used to do some Toy Story videos. And this is how we all kind of got in touch. Back in the day, in the early days on YouTube, you know, we were a fan of each videos, and just sort of getting a bit of a history. Um,
Right.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
this is not the first time Drew and I have appeared on this channel.
no. So
I don't want to say where where else though. I don't want you to watch them. I was very young.
Yeah, don't watch them, but they're there.
So like, yeah, just people thinking, who the hell is these guys?
Shaz and
No,
Drew have both appeared on my channel. Like, that's just kind of how it worked.
you know, yeah,
I
we're
oh, go
all
ahead,
kind of
Sam.
been best friends, you know, and it's crazy, but like, when I think Toy Story sort of kind of got us closer, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Our all three of our friendships, I feel like, were very much about YouTube and Toy Story, and even today we. I mean, I message you guys anytime I get any other toys, and I
And the
don't tell
crazy part is, we
anyone
all
else.
live in complete different parts of the world, and we managed to keep a friendship over the internet for over a decade.
We were going through the point of hyping from the release of Toy Story 3 and the hype of Toy Story 4 and so on to I say to infinity and beyond, but
It is kind of crazy that we like. I remember growing up before anybody knew they were making a Toy Story 3, just wishing like, "Oh, I want another Toy Story movie so bad." And
yeah,
I wrote a handwritten letter to John Lasseter saying, "Here's what should happen in Toy Story 3. Andy should grow up and go to college or something like that." Like literally I wrote that in like 2007, and I sent it to them, and then they sent me a letter back and was like, "We are not allowed to read any of your materials. I'm sorry."
that's the
But they
most.
sent me a signed photo from John Lasseter with the toys and stuff. But it's crazy to me to think that I went from that and like wishing that they would just make one more Toy Story movie. Now, I mean, I've been friends with you guys through almost three separate new Toy Story movies, and I don't know how many shorts and TV specials and stuff that we've gotten since.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think well, this is sort of cool because now we got another. Well, I'll say a Toy Story, but Buzz. Yeah, it's sort of a Toy Story movie in a way, but
Hmm.
we got
It's
another
in
one.
the
We got another one to
franchise.
look forward to. So I'm
Um.
curious, but like, if this new Buzz Lightyear, I wonder what like, because you mentioned about the utility belt, like doing the merchandise. Well, um, the thing where repackaging, re-releasing
Right.
the utility belt Buzz. I'm thinking, do you think the utility belt will have a sort of a unique thing into the film? Like, will it have a plot part? Like, will it be in the film or as a
I
as a
I
thing
It
that
think it
Buzz
should
is
should.
be.
used?
I would love it to, but I think it could go either way. Because in my head, they either are gonna play it 100% straight and not have any sort of references to Toy Story, period, or they're gonna be, like have fun with it, and you might see like the Pizza Planet aliens, and like the utility belt from part 2, or like the Space Ranger Morse code like signs and stuff from Andy's room.
We've seen so
Um,
far like the first still of it. It's the first picture, and it's I think from that, because obviously it's not the accurate green and white suit.
mhm.
But maybe that's his sort of his trainee suit, or because I don't know. I hope that's not his main suit they're
Yeah,
going
I,
for.
I want the iconic green and white and purple.
But
Same.
that's not Buzz Lightyear.
That
Yeah.
suit's not in the movie. We riot.
I do think that the orange or whatever we saw will be some sort of trainee suit, because I mean, remember, this has to be whatever the toy Buzz Lightyear is based off of. You know what I'm saying? So
Smart move by Disney, so more merch.
Based off of Chris Evans.
Well, to be fair, that's kind of clever because to do different Buzz Lightyear suits, that means more toys, and then more toys means
yeah.
more money.
How do you guys feel about the Chris Evans thing?
um, Jacob, do you want to go?
That one, I mean, I think Chris Evans will do a good job. Like, I feel like he will. He's Captain America. I feel like he can do like what we would need him to do. But I was recently watching like an interview with Tim Allen, and in the interview, Tim Allen said something like, "I really care about these characters. I'm passionate about it, like about his lines and stuff, and that he gets protective over Buzz Lightyear." And hearing Tim Allen say that he's protective over the character, like just days after hearing about a recasting, I was kind of a little bit sad. I was like, "Oh, poor Tim."
Yeah, like I do feel bad for him because, like, especially in the recent Toy Story movie, he had less lines
Hmm.
and less screen time, which was pretty
Disney has
annoying.
been trying to like distance themselves from Tim Allen for political reasons, which is stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree, and it does make me sad because I think Chris Evans is fantastic. I love him as Captain America, and I think he'll have a great voice. But to me, I mean, Buzz Lightyear is always going to be Tim Allen, and most of the action figures I have his voice because he cared about the character that much.
his voice
And
is too iconic to replace. Like when you
yeah,
hear Buzz Lightyear, you hear Tim Allen. It's
Yeah, Tim
it's a
Allen
big
loves that
change to get
character.
used to because I understand from story points, like obviously yeah it's based on the movie Buzz Lightyear, but then they've done it in in the actual movie Buzz Lightyear Star Command. So what's stopping them to do it in this movie? And I
I think it's
know,
got to be like Jacob said with the political stuff, because
yeah,
even on the new Toy Story short on Disney Plus, there's no dialogue or
I was a
anything.
bit disappointed with that short because
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lot longer, but
Wait,
like 2 or 3
Disney
seconds.
canceled Tim Allen's TV show, and then Fox got it, and then when Disney bought Fox, they canceled it again.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, they really don't like Tim Allen for whatever reason, and apparently from what I read somewhere, it has to do with Tim Allen's political views, which I think you should separate that from the actor and his work,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. My personal belief is like, if he's not like, if Tim Allen is going on Twitter and stuff and saying like some heinous like racist crazy stuff, then that's time to intervene. But if he
Right.
just has different views or whatever, I really don't mind.
Sometimes it's hard to like separate your views and work,
Mm.
and especially like a big organization. I don't want to say too much bad thing about Disney because then we'll get like Disney's going to come after us. But what I mean is, it's hard because like especially what's going on now with especially the Mandalorian news about is it Gino? She got fired for
Oh,
something
I did
about her
see that.
tweets or something.
Yeah, they cancel culture, man. I hate it.
It's a new world, a new generation, I guess. So it's scary that you know you can lose your job really easily depending what
Right.
you say. But
I've lost the job over a social media post before.
oh no.
I saw that. I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, granted, what I posted was not appropriate, but that's a discussion for another time.
But
um,
with Chris Evans though, I do think I agree with you guys. I do think he would. His voice is quite good. It's a good fitting like Lightyear's sort of
like a heroic
yeah,
type of
heroic
sound.
tone because we're used to Captain America. I think I was actually watching a little scene from Avengers Endgame, and it wasn't like Captain America's normal voice. It's the one where Loki. I'm curious. He might actually has. I found his sort of Buzz Lightyear's voice, and there's a scene.
Mm.
There's a bit where Loki pretends to be Captain America and talks
Exactly,
quite
I know
heroic,
exactly what
and
you're
that actually
thinking about.
sounds a lot like Buzz Lightyear in a way. So I feel like I kind of yeah, if you want to kind of get a sort of a vibe of Buzz Lightyear's voice, go to watch Avengers Endgame and look up that Loki scene where
There's
where
also a Loki scene in Thor 2 where he talks in the same
yeah,
voice.
exactly. So it's different than natural his Captain America's voice. Captain America like talks normal like as Chris Evans, but if you want to talk heroic, then I think that's sort of
Yeah.
the vibe.
Chris Evans, I feel like will do an excellent job, but I feel like the fact that it's not Tim Allen just kind of makes me sad.
Hmm. I'm curious, right? So I wonder what kind of features, because like the toy has. I'm curious to see what the sorry, the communicator would be like in the film. So we're actually gonna hear someone talk, you know?
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
We're gonna see his gadgets how they actually work. That will be
Like the
cool.
wings, like the light up wings, and I don't know how they're gonna explain the karate chop action though. How the hell?
Maybe
Maybe
he's
he's just
just good at karate.
Maybe that's just a
yeah.
gimmick of a toy, so maybe it's not an actual feature. It's like a toy. Oh, which is just a toy. So that's a karate chop is quite cool these days. Let's put a karate chop on this figure. It has nothing to do with the film, but let's do it anyway.
That
But
sounds like a toy company.
but
I
are you
I
go?
was gonna say that I hope the movie is kind of like I hope they take a lot of inspiration from like the Star Wars movies and like Predator and Total Recall and things like that, like kind of dark but cheesy like
Mm.
sci-fi
It's Disney.
from
They're gonna reference Star Wars.
The
They
the
own Star Wars.
lighting, I gotta admit, like the actual lighting from the picture looks really like sort of a scene from Alien, like that
mm,
or Interstellar, like that realistic kind of space vibe. So
right.
from seeing that still, I'm still kind of feel like we're gonna get that vibe.
I
And
really hope so, and I hope they're not afraid to like play it up, and I hope they're not afraid to make it cheesy because
mm,
if this is supposed to be a movie that came out in the Toy Story universe or whatever back then, like this is like some '90s sci-fi movie, so I think playing into that aspect would be hilarious.
one thing I'm curious
Yes.
about, like one thing I'm really curious, I think we all need to agree on, is that is there gonna be the dad? Well, you know, he's probably gonna be the villain for the film, but will he be Buzz's father?
Maybe they'll like do a parody of the scene in Empire Strikes Back, like they did in Toy Story 2, but in this movie also.
Do you guys remember seeing that in the Buzz Lightyear Star Command series where they had like a
Yeah.
lightsaber fight, and then Zurg says, "I'm your father, Buzz," like just like in Toy Story 2, and then he just says,
Mhm.
"Psych."
Yeah, and then like smacks him or something like that.
Oh my
That'd be
god.
quite. I actually want Zurg to be very, very scary. Like I know this sounds really
Yeah.
dark, but I want it to be sort of
But he has to be purple.
purple.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
purple.
has to be purple.
I'm, I'm curious. It's gonna be like seeing a realistic Zurg. Like it's gonna be with like red evil eyes. I can sort of like
They need to
see
get James Earl Jones to do Zurg.
James Earl Jones, but I can sort
Oh,
of
that'd be
see.
insane.
I can sort of see like a robot devil kind of a very scary cyborg monster. So I don't know
They
what.
have the Siri voice do Zurg.
I'm gonna drop this into the Discord chat, but this was like a Toy Story 2 promotional like concept art for Zurg. I think that'd be really kind of a cool vibe to go for.
Checking that now.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's like it's the
Oh
same
yeah.
but different, and it's just very kind of evil, robotic, Zerg.
I guess like
But
to sort of see what kind of things about it would look like the well what the sorry what would a movie concept would be sort of the same concept from the actual Toy Story concept, if you know what I'm getting at, like, so maybe there's sort of clues there where what could look like in this new Buzz Lightyear film.
yeah,
I'm curious what kind of Star Command's going to be like. Like, do you think we're going to have a like? I know from watching Buzz Lightyear Star Command, there was like different kind of species with aliens as like cadets, and
hmm
there was different creatures.
Yeah,
Or they're
hopefully
all
they
going to
have
look like
the
Buzz.
little green men, the aliens with the three eyes. I hope they're in the movie.
Yes, they
see, I
need
was
to be.
I was gonna ask if you guys think so because they were in the animated show, but in the Toy Story movies, they were like Pizza Planet toys.
I think
So
I think maybe they were not initially meant to be part of Buzz Lightyear's kind of film. Well, story. Well, not story, but it's not meant to be part of the Buzz Lightyear thing, and it was
right.
just mainly was a Pizza Planet license sort of thing,
Mm.
and maybe because they were so popular during the early 2000, and people associate the aliens with Buzz Lightyear, then they already got used to that idea of, oh, let's put them in the Buzz Lightyear Star Command because they're so popular.
Yeah, and like the end movie explanation could be like that all the aliens in the claw machine were toys from that show.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense because it's a space restaurant or whatever.
And that would make sense why Sid was like a Buzz Lightyear, like not he was like not
Because
really
wouldn't the
surprised,
aliens
more like
recognize Buzz
excited.
from the claw machine?
Well, maybe the aliens don't real. Maybe the aliens know their toys.
Well, I'm sorry, I meant Buzz. Because they'll recognize the alien, because the Buzz is kind of like, when he
I
first
mean,
jump
Buzz
in.
does. He just jumps in and talks to him like they're normal people. So I mean,
Hmm. Well,
Yeah, that's weird.
you know what? I've got this really cool idea of and I'm just talking about how the movie should end. But hear me out. I think this is sounds really, this was in my mind for a while. How, so the movie ends, right? And when it opens up in the Toy Story world, so sort of maybe like a post-credit scene or whatever,
hmm
and you see you see Al's toy barn, and you see a car pull up, and it's 1995. And
Oh, it's the blue car.
Andy's mom walks into the store, and she picks up Buzz. So Andy, and you actually see Andy's mom picking up Andy's birthday present,
that would be cool.
and you see the whole Buzz Light aisle, and Andy's mom just picked the Buzz in the middle, and from that scene that is Andy's Buzz. I think that would
That
be
would
beautiful.
that would
It
be
would be.
awesome. I've thought before on whether I would like them to do like a Toy Story like after credit scene or even like an intro like the 2D animated movie.
Yeah,
But I think that'd be the best way to do it. Honestly, that whole after credit scene that would be fantastic.
because
I would love
it's
that.
just it just like, because we know it's the toys. We know it's connected to Toy Story. Like, I know
Mhm.
it's sort of meant to be an own thing, not from Toy Story. But then Pixar surprises us with this, and it's sort of like, hey, we did
That would
that
be
thing about
exactly
Toy
the type of
Story. Well,
thing
here you
Disney would
go.
do.
I think.
I think
Oh, you
I think
go.
that'd be the best way to do it because I wouldn't want him to like nail it over the head, and have like a whole 10-minute after credit sequence of like I don't know them watching it at Bonnie's house or something. Like I
Oh,
wouldn't
hope
want
it's
him
not
to
Bonnie's
overdo it.
house. I really
Yeah,
hope.
that I just don't have the same
I could
connection with
also see
her.
them doing that.
Well, I think
Or
this would just
what
be
if
easier, and it's so simple but beautiful. Cause it's like a prequel. Well, not prequel. Well, yeah, prequel. it just brings the whole thing together. Like you can even
I
watch
think it'd be
this.
beautiful. Yeah.
Like if you want to watch the Toy Story movies in order, you can actually watch this first and then watch Toy Story 1. So in a way, it's a prequel to Toy Story.
I think that would be 1000% the best way to do it. But then what if they played it where it's the end of the movie, it zooms out of a TV and like and like Woody is like at the antique shop watching it or something like that. And he's just like missing his boy. That'd be kind of
Oh,
sad.
that would be. Then it's OT for Toy Story 5. Hey, we're not done with you yet. Hey fans, we're not done with you yet. Now, this Buzz Lightyear was a trailer all along for Toy Story 5.
Franchise dry.
You know, I would still like them to put. I still would like them. That similar idea of Woody watching the thing, but in Toy Story 1.
Oh wow, that'd be crazy!
Yeah, just like the actual deleted scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from when the opening for the Buzz Lightyear show.
It zooms out and it's Andy with as a kid.
They can just redo that.
Andy picks up Woody and he's like, "Come on, we gotta get ready for my birthday."
Maybe it cut to his mom going to get Buzz.
Okay.
Yeah, just combine the two ideas.
Guy, I mean, we should work at Pixar. At this
we
point,
need to be part of the story group.
Why don't we work at Pixar?
I'm working for a Toy Story film, but it's not part of Pixar. It's my own budget.
I work for a cell phone company.
I don't work.
It's a remake of. I hope you guys heard of it. It's a remake of Toy Story 2. I literally get.
Never heard of it.
I know people hype for that, so please, if anyone who's watching, all updates on the live action Toy Story 2 Facebook page. It's currently on filming, so I just want to give a little bit of update on that. But anyway, going back to Buzz. Oh God!
I think I would love that after credit scene. That would tie it all together for me. That would.
It just has a little bow tie. That's it. A British way always say a little nice bow tie.
Well, I mean, I feel like you guys probably feel the same way. I don't want Toy Story 5. I don't want Toy Story 6 or 7 or 8. You know, like I think we dodged a bullet with Toy Story 4. I think Toy Story 4 came out as good as it could have came out.
I'll tell what I want. I want a Toy Story 0. I want a Toy Story 0, a prequel.
Mind a Woody backstory movie.
Well, this is perfect. This is genius from Pixar because
a Woody's Roundup movie.
I think they could do a TV show.
Ooh, what if a Disney Plus like Woody's Roundup themed TV show or something like that, or even like a Toy Story 0, like Shaz was saying, like because I know people say it's fake and it's not canon, but I really like the story of Andy's dad, you know, having Woody before Andy, then passing him down, and Andy's dad being sick or whatever. And
I've seen that.
But I know everyone's like, that's not real. He lied. It's not canon.
You know what? There's like, because it's funny because I was looking at those kind of fan theories before about how Emily's mom is Jessie. Well, Jesse's Emily is Jesse's mom.
Jesse.
I'm getting mixed up the words now. Damn it, Reddit. Sorry, Andy's mom is Jesse's owner, and all this thing. No, this is not canon. You know what? I don't think that's all true. I gotta admit. I think when they made this, because when they made it,
the guy who wrote it's dead, so we really have no way to confirm.
I think when they made it, they didn't really look into who is Andy's dad or why this not happening. I think it was just more the budget from the film.
Yeah,
they didn't really figure out the actual lore of the story.
Yeah, they only made 2 character models, Andy and Sid.
So I feel like
everybody
people,
else was just modified.
I think people
Andy.
get over too excited about, oh my god, this is it's this theory, like it's true because Andy's dad is actually dead and from a car crash and with a they go very very extend to the whole thing and I feel like well, I think Pixar didn't make a dad because they couldn't afford it.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
And especially with the Emily's mom thing, because I personally don't believe that's actually Emily, so Andy's mom. I think that's
Yeah, they
just a
probably just reused
coincidence.
the model of the hat.
Yeah, because I'm by watching, so I watched through the actual behind the scenes, and you notice, and they even said on the in the behind the scene videos they reused some of the props from each scene.
Have
Like,
you guys watched the first Toy Story lately? Like, it's the '90s in it is really starting to show.
yeah,
Well, for me, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I literally I probably still know them word for word by heart, the first two movies. Um the second one especially, but the first one, they both still hold up to me. Like I get
Oh,
that
I
Andy's
agree.
ugly or whatever, but like
I really
I guess I'm
like.
just so used to the animation that sometimes like when I look at Toy Story 3's, I'm like, man, I kind of prefer the look of Toy Story 2. And I know that's
I
like
feel
crazy.
exactly the way you
Toy
guys
Story 2,
feel.
in my opinion, is one of the best looking ones.
Same, and that's why you probably noticed I put the thumbnail there. I put a Toy Story 2 rendered version of Buzz
I
because
think
that's
the
the
reason
Buzz
the
I grew up
animation looks so
with.
jarring to me is because I grew up with the VHS Toy
Yeah.
Story one, and then I
Yeah.
went straight from VHS to Blu-ray. So I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god!" I noticed things that I'd never noticed before. Like there's like a crowd shot where if you look at everybody, they're just looped animation.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
like
I
if you
didn't know
actually pay attention to them, they move like old '90s sprites, like on a computer. Like if
that.
you actually pay attention, which I did for the first time when I watched it on Blu-ray because I got the trilogy. I was like, oh my god. Like like if you look for it, it's there. But the thing is, the movie's so good you don't look for it. But where I'd seen it a million times and was watching it in HD for the first time, I noticed.
You know what's
I
funny about some of the the graphic, well, the models, and I noticed Buzz's color kind of changes throughout the film. Like I know his green template is a lot brighter from Toy
His
Story 3
head
and 4.
defies the laws of physics in Toy Story, and actually, like if you look, you can see his chin like cut into like the rest of his model and stuff sometimes.
well, his arms and stuff do the same exact thing because it literally is not possible for him to click his own buttons and stuff
I
with
noticed,
those
Yeah.
especially
like
even with Woody,
dimensions.
like I noticed even his jeans were more of a blue, but it's more like a purpley blue,
I think the
a
look
brighter
of
blue.
Woody in Toy Story 1 is my favorite Woody. Like that's just like classic
Same.
Woody to
Yeah.
me.
And
Um
I think Toy Story 1's my favorite Woody, and Toy Story 2 Waddle Buzz is my favorite Buzz.
I agree with that. But
Same.
4 I think is really good. 4 kind of reminds me of 2 just
I
a
think
lot
four
better.
is the best looking one, but that's
I
because they
think way better
literally
than
tried
4.
to make it photorealistic.
Way better than 3.
They literally animated it to look like it was shot through a real camera.
No,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
some of the behind the scenes, they actually used the collection toys for getting the right lighting.
They did.
Really? That's crazy.
Maybe that's why we think it's good. We're used to how those toys light, and we look at their light and we're
You can
like,
even see
correct.
like Buzz's sort of scarring from from the chest plate and like the
Yeah.
peel of the
But I
sticker.
watched a video. They literally made it look. They used like virtual camera lenses. Like they modeled the way the light reflects off of certain real lenses that exist in real life.
You know,
Yeah, I've
with the
seen
new
that.
one thing I want to sort of talk about better the toys. You know what, like especially related to the Buzz Lightyear figures. That I felt like the new Buzz Lightyear toys have gone really downhill.
All
Uh,
toys have gone downhill.
like
The
the funny
Star
thing is
Wars toys, the Marvel toys, they've all gone downhill
the
since
funny
we were
thing is the
kids.
head sculpt is perfect, like the
Yeah.
head sculpt, but the rest of the
Well, they
figure is
used the
bad.
actual 3D model for the head sculpt, and then they cheaped out on the rest.
Even with the collection Buzz, like I never thought that that head wasn't really like the film. I don't know.
Mm.
I know they say they 3D like modeled it, but like I feel like that's not exactly like the film Toy Buzz.
I think there was so much potential with Toy Story 4 to actually fix the collection toys and like just
Yeah,
give everyone what they wanted. Like literally, I feel like they would have sold so many more Woodies if they stopped cheaping out on Woody and like actually just gave him the new like closed mouth face.
And they made dozens of
And
people doing head swap mods.
yeah, I mean, there. It's honestly the reason so many people are doing them is just because there's so many small, little, tiny changes that Thinkway could have done, but they didn't. And
It's
part of
all
me,
it's money decisions over quality decisions.
yeah, and part of me is upset about it, but part of me understands. Like, I bet they're not selling as many toys as they were even 10 years ago with
No,
kids
every
having their
child
kids.
where I work at a phone store, I sell a lot of tablets to parents and grandparents for their
Mm-hmm.
kids. Every kid has a tablet these days.
It's crazy.
I hope this new Buzz Lightyear movie redeems, like, makes at least better toys. And
I've been thinking Mattel should just give it a shot. Honestly, their
I
newer
think,
stuff has been
sadly,
pretty
like,
cool.
because I do like Mattel, but I think they recently kind of stopped doing those 12-inch toys
Mm-hmm.
and stick with six-inch figures, which was kind of like they did really good figures back in the early
Plus,
days
it's
in
up
Toy
to
Story.
Disney which company gets the licenses.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Mattel pull string Woody might be my favorite Woody. The Toy Story 3, like 2010 Mattel Woody. I don't
I've
know
actually
why.
never seen one of those in person.
Oh man,
I'm
I have
currently
one.
working on a Buzz Lightyear mod, and hopefully we'll do a YouTube video. So stay tuned for that, guys.
I
It's
still have my Hasbro Woody.
I'm using different pieces. So I'm using the 2009 Mattel Buzz. I don't think a lot of people have done this yet because the actual toy has an accurate kind of phrases. So it's got like that secret mission in giant space. It has like a lot of the same toy modes because one thing this what I found it quite disappointing about the collection is that they didn't really have a lot of the accurate phrases like in the movie. And it
Mhm.
was kind of rare hearing Buzz saying that. Bit like how someone poisoned a waterhole.
Yeah,
And I'm using another piece of Buzz Lightyear's face that looks quite good and putting a communicator's arm from a Disney Store Buzz. So I'm seeing, and the laser's really good because it has that an accurate laser, and the light is actually the light bulb is actually quite bright. So that's one thing that's quite cool about those Mattel buzzers.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
agree.
anyway, I'm thinking of I'm curious what kind of characters would there be in this new movie because um I'm curious would Buzz have like I think Buzz would be pretty young in this film.
He's supposedly fresh out of the academy.
You know, it'd be quite cool if he meets Warp if Warp Dark Matter is in the movie, but like just sort of change the name and they actually have exactly the same story.
It's weird for me to think about Buzz having an age because this
No,
whole
that
time
little
we've just known him
hairy
as
chin thing was
we're gonna see him
This is
grow
a
his
real
one hair.
person, Drew, not a toy.
um yeah, as for characters, I hope they either I hope they give him some cool companion, Star Command people, like new people, or I hope
He
they
needs a dog.
reuse some of the.
I think
Well,
this
I
time
don't know about a dog.
I think this time Buzz should have like sort of a solo story. Um, don't get me wrong, I did like Buzz Lightyear Star Command sort of Team Lightyear thing, but
Mm,
I always thought Buzz was always his sort of own venture hero, and he did
right.
things solo, all his missions and his unique days, especially like the games and all that was he did that himself without a team.
Mm,
So at least we're gonna see that. Like I don't mind him having a partner, but I think it would be cool to get that story of him being solo.
right. I think the only character I need to see other than Buzz in the movie is Zurg. I don't
Yes.
I
Same.
I would honestly be very upset if the villain of the movie isn't Zurg, but I
That
can't think of
would
who else it
be
would
the
be.
worst decision. Like,
I'd like to
hey,
see
we're gonna be
Zurg, and I'd
making a
like to
Buzz
see the
Lightyear movie,
aliens.
and then who the hell is Zurg? Oh,
They
you
just
know
it's no
that
Zurg.
thing from 1999 we made about Arch Nemesis, whatever that Buzz Lightyear been talking about since first Toy Story, second Toy Story, and his whole arc, and he's not in the
The evil
movie.
Emperor
Like,
Zurg, sworn
after,
enemy of the Galactic Alliance.
and it's in the box.
It's
The
right
whole
there,
story and the
guys.
lore is in that box right there. So, people who doesn't know Zurgers and rewatch Toy Story 1 and 2. I think I think like I said, going back there with the design of the suit, I hope they go back into the normal Toy Story look of Buzz. Like, yeah, they can add a bit of some changes. So I understand that's like different from a toy, but at least give the same color palettes and you know that the OG suit.
Yeah, Uh,
Yes, it's got to be white, purple, and green.
it's just gonna be it's gonna be a weird adjustment period of seeing him just different, not being a
Yeah.
toy,
It's gonna be like you can even looking at the picture of the actual the first look, you can see he's like, oh god, he's got brushy eyebrows. Even
Is
I
he
thought
gonna
that
take
kind of
off his little like purple head thing, and we're gonna see his hair?
Probably, we're probably gonna get to see
Do you
Buzz
remember
Lightyear's hair, guys.
there's an episode of Buzz Lightyear Starkweather where you see Buzz without his suit. And it's all
Oh, yeah. There's just like the whole purple like
he's all
bodysuit
purple.
thing.
It looks like a Teletubby.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
I'm
so
worried now. We're gonna see Buzz Lightyear's hair.
hey, he doesn't have a chin hair. I think what do you think who all honesty, besides James Earl Jones, who do you think should voice Zurg?
Andrew Stanton did it in Toy Story, right?
Yeah, you know what would be so meta and so like genius. Just get
The
Wayne
guy who
Knight.
voiced Al voiced him in the cartoon.
Just get Wayne Knight to reprise his role.
And
Wayne
make
Knight, that's his
no
name.
make no reference to Star Command, but just get Wayne
Because
Knight to do
yeah,
it.
like everybody says Wayne Knight was the perfect. Like I like Andrew Stanton as Zurg as well, but he was the perfect Zurg.
Well, what kind of Zurg do you guys hope we see? Like, cause in Star Command it was kind of like the manic, like funny, but just crazy kind of
Psychotic.
Zurg. Yeah, and then in Toy Story movies he was just like, evil, whatever Zurg.
I want him to be scary. Like
He was
Yeah.
his
maybe
father.
get. How about James Spader, the guy who voices Ultron?
Ooh, that'd be pretty crazy.
Because I actually did a video when Age of Ultron was coming out. I did like
Vin
a
Diesel
Pixar.
might be pretty good.
Yeah, you can voice. Why let him voice the aliens called Groot
Groot needs to be in the movie.
as a
Oh,
cast
God.
cameo? No, but going back, right? I did a video during when Age of Ultron was coming out, and it was a Pixar mashup, and actually syncing James Spader's voice with Zurg actually really works well.
Really?
So hey, bit of synergy there, like reusing some of your like yeah, and hey, Captain America and Ultron.
It's weird how many like
Josh
I
Brolin.
wonder.
Sorry.
It's just weird how I don't know. It's setting in for me now talking about it. Just how different this is gonna be from the Toy Story movies. You know what I mean? Like,
Or it's gonna be completely different.
Do you
yeah,
think?
it's just gonna be a whole
Do you
different
think
thing.
there'll be a scene right where Buzz accidentally lands into a desert and meets the real life Woody?
That would be cool.
I hope not.
It would be out of place, but it would be cool.
Well, Buzz is a spaceman, right? So like he's got a ship. He can fly to any planet. Oh wait, this is a planet. It looks like Earth. Oh, it's a
Buzz
desert.
Lightyear lands on a planet that looks like Andy's room.
Oh my
You know what would be
gosh.
so so funny, but he wakes up and he's in Andy's room in that
The
same.
that'd
after
be
credit
funny.
scene is the toy of Buzz Lightyear wakes up and it's a dream.
Yeah, and he wakes up that
The
moment
toy
when
just
Woody
wakes up and
meets
he's like, "Oh my
Buzz.
god!"
Or what? I hate to go back to the after credits thing
No,
so
go
much,
on.
but what if it was like it zoomed out and it shows you why Toy Buzz thought he was a real space ranger, like
Yeah,
maybe
that's what
he
they see
was,
when they're in hyper sleep.
That
or,
would be
or what if he
really.
was that action figure right in front of the display with like that TV just playing 24/7
That
the
would be
movie.
really depressing, but crazy, incredible. Like
That would be insane.
it's like
Yeah.
you feel like that guy's like 'cause obviously in the first Toy Story you're getting the view on Woody's side of the film. You're not really paying attention on Buzz, but in a clever way you're now going to Buzz's point of view, seeing his point of view of the story, and
Right.
it's depressing.
Either way, there's gonna be an
And you
after
feel
credit
his
scene where it
and
zooms out and it's the Toy Story universe.
yes, and you do feel his pain from like that scene where he finds out he was a toy, because you go from that whole adventure he had in space. So yeah, like
Yeah, that's gonna make Toy Story 1 a lot more sad.
oh,
Yeah,
I
that
see
is-
what Pixar's doing right here. I could definitely see what they're planning. Hey, this is a trick. It's a
We're
They-
gonna
trick.
they
watch
said-
this movie, then
They were
immediately
trying to
watch
make
Toy
us
Story 1
cry.
and watch Buzz's dreams just get crushed.
You know what's funny?
They-
Because you know what's funny? Every Pixar movie they try and make it even more sadder and sadder and sadder, and they go, "Hey, let's make it different. Let's do a happy Buzz Lightyear movie." Wait a minute, you're gonna make us cry again.
No, they probably saw all the Toy Story movies and they were like, okay, one is by far the least sad of all the Toy Story movies. We have to
Yes.
make that like super duper depressing somehow.
Won't
Like,
make us grown
retroactively.
men crying in the cinema again. We did the whole give the toys up scene. We separated the two best friends in the film. Let's make it even more darker.
Not to get too off topic, but with them being open to making like a Buzz Lightyear spin-off movie, do you think this means that they would make a Toy Story 5 or something like that?
It's Disney. Yes.
You know what? I think
Whenever Pixar was their own thing, like and Disney just like basically hired them to make stuff, I trusted that. But now that Disney owns Pixar, and John Lasseter isn't there, and he's like the main guy who, he would be the one who loves these characters the most out of anybody, I assume.
you know. I'm just gonna drop down and say I think I don't really want. I do want a Toy Story 5 because let's be honest, it's another Toy Story movie, and I love Toy Story, and I wasn't happy with the ending of Toy Story 4 because it made me cry. So, but I don't. I do kind of wish they go kind of backwards and start focusing on like we can go from generation to generation and what's happened with Bonnie when she grows up and go back to Andy and what's the proper ending of Toy Story. There is no really proper ending, but like what can you beat the separation of the two main characters? Oh, Andy's grown up and got kids now. That's the final ending. Like I don't want another movie for the purpose of trying to close the film because that's what the
Yeah.
whole point of it. I felt like Toy Story 4 was made to try to close the film, to close the story chapter. But I rather
But at
like
the same time, so is Toy Story 3 and and 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
They were all made to be the end.
but the funny thing is, I think the good thing about Disney Plus is now they have the opportunity to keep the characters alive, and now because I'd rather they go back to focus on the times with Andy's sort of side,
Yeah.
when they're back in Andy's room, the old school Toy Story I grew up with. Because I know a lot of people are gonna not like this, but I didn't like Bonnie's the change of Bonnie's room, and it's now getting replaced as the new Toy
I
Story.
wasn't a fan of that either.
I wish
Well, it's
they.
just not what we grew up with.
And that's not that's not Toy Story to me. I know what is Toy Story. Toy Story means Buzz and Woody and Andy's Cloud. Because they even the funny thing is they promote the whole thing with the clouds, the actual poster.
Mm.
So why can't they do a film or a show? Well, not a show, but like a film, like even like a spin-off film in that Toy Story 2 and 3 period? Because that opening in Toy Story 4 was amazing. Like that
Mhm.
that first 5 minutes was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
The first 5 minutes of Toy Story 4.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it was my favorite part of the movie because it felt like watching, and you didn't know that you need to go that whole adventure with that like the whole carnival thing. Like
Mhm.
that was Toy Story.
Bro,
And
the
it-
fact that Bonnie didn't even look at Woody in that movie made me want to scream.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Why
that-
this makes that ending in Toy Story 3 even a lot harder now. Like Andy
Andy
she
gives
played
up his
you.
favorite toy for Bonnie to say, fuck it.
She played you.
there's I go back and forth because especially to a lot of my friends who aren't, I mean, I don't know anybody aside from you guys in my life who is into Toy Story as much as I am. So like when I went to
Same.
the theater, I was walking out and my friends were just like, they didn't get the ending of Toy Story 4, so they were just like man, Woody just gave up his boy just for some woman. Like that don't even make sense, bro. And da. Like I've done so much work to like defend Toy Story 4 to so many people. But I still do have like a love-hate relationship with it where
Same, man. Like
um I I think 3 was the best final ending. Because they could have ended it on a high note. But I love the 4. I think I might enjoy the 4th movie as a whole more than 3, if that makes
Same.
sense.
same. The one thing that does kind of disappoint me for is that the lack of Andy's toys screen time.
Yeah,
In
and
the
I think
film.
that's why I would be so open to them doing like even a Disney Plus series
Yeah.
of just like between Toy Story 2 and 3, or even between 1 and 2, of just adventures and things that were going
I
on.
want the circle. I want that
They'd probably
Circle
do 2 and
7
3
story.
because they'd want to have Jesse in there.
Yeah, and you
I
know,
want
some
that
people would
Circle
be very
7
happy
story
to see
where Buzz
Jesse.
goes to Taiwan. I just want that. I just want to see that because it's like I don't
I
know what
feel
it
like
is. Just
I want to see that. I'd be open to seeing that story, but I want them to just do it in some mini series or like more like TV special type things
hey,
rather
like, have
than.
you heard about the Monster Inc. show? And they're actually 30 minutes long.
Oh wow,
They're
yeah,
not shorts. They're
I
actually 30 minutes, and they reprise it, and like Billy Crystal and are like literally reprising their role.
Actors
that's
are starting
crazy.
to realize that streaming is the way of the future because you can watch a movie anytime you want from anywhere because you can watch it on your phone.
Yeah,
Why don't they do a series of like called Agnes Adventures, like as a side sub name?
or
Change the
Adventures
name
in Andy's
afterwards.
room.
Yeah,
That was like a whole thing.
Toy Story Andy's room. I was like, and it's a bit like Monsters Goes to Work. That's
Mhm.
but a Toy Story in the time period of 2 and 3,
Right.
and
Or
then
even do you remember the toy line Toy Story Lost episodes? It was like the Hasbro ones, and it would either say Toy Story and Beyond or Toy Story Lost
I remember.
episodes.
I
Yeah, I
still
remember
have
I
the
remember the
Woody
little
from
comic
that and the
strips.
Buzz from that.
And they'd have like little comics on the back of just like
Yeah, the little comic
I
strips.
something like a Disney Plus series of stuff like that. I would love.
And my
Eh,
Buzz Lightyear,
They
he
could
came with
go
a little
very
compass
like
and a comic
into.
about the compass.
They could
I have
like.
that one.
They could even go into really deep and like actually
Mine's in
shows.
multiple pieces.
They could show actually what happens to Wheezy, and each episode, like if you want to make it depressing. Not saying
Oh
the first
gosh.
5 episodes, but in the last like 5 episodes of the season, they show how the Wheezy gets like taken away, and it kind of like each episode sort of goes towards Toy Story 3. Bit like
Right.
how like Clone Wars
Mm.
goes to Revenge of the Sith. Like it gets darker
Yeah.
and sort of like gets closer to that time. I wouldn't be mind like that sort of that, like do a whole show of a season and just fill that
Yeah,
time period.
I think if they want to keep the Toy Story brand alive, that's how I would rather them do it. I'd rather them do the series on Disney Plus, and like if this Lightyear movie is good, I'd be open to seeing another Buzz Lightyear movie, like spin-off movie
Buzz
or
Or
Lightyear
whatever.
maybe
Star
they do a
Command 2.
spin-off Lightyear series on Disney Plus.
That'd be awesome too.
And
But
they could have Mirror Nova, XR, and Warp Dark Matter into the show and sort of.
But
that'd
they
be
will
sick.
not get Tim Allen.
But I just do not want to. I don't know. I don't want what happens after Toy Story 4, because then like it's either
I
gonna be a
think we're
movie
kind of
about.
tied with the whole continuation and.
The
Mm,
scene in Toy Story 4 when Woody willingly let them take his voice box out after watching Toy Story 2 and being a toy collector and knowing how much Woody is worth. I was literally dying inside. I was like,
I think
no,
I think Al
Woody, what
is
are you doing?
shaking
You're one of a
his.
kind, homie.
I think Al is like really annoyed. Like he's just sort of scratching his
Al was rolling
scratching
over in
his
his grave.
scratching his couch, trying to like. I think he had a heart attack.
In the Halloween special, if you pay attention, the person that buys Jesse on eBay is Al.
Oh
I
god,
Like if you
did I
yeah.
look
did
at the
notice
if you
that.
look at the label, it's got Al's name
Bow
on
to
it.
face Al in the comments below. People on my
Did
Toy Story will get that
Al
reference.
with the thumbs up.
I felt
How
bad
did
for
you?
Al. Have you heard that theory about Al's being like the whole origin story of Al? It
No,
was from the Carlton brothers, and
I haven't heard that one.
it's the one apparently like Al. The reason why he got the whole collection was that Al was a very rich kid. His mom died, but his dad bought him everything, and the whole
Mhm.
Al's Toy Barn farm was actually real. It was part of a real farm he grew up in, and
Oh, I
then
think
he's
I did see that
Yeah,
video.
I've seen this.
yeah, like there's some really deep lore in that kind of end, but I don't really believe it though. I just
Yeah,
think it was just sort of, hey, we need a toy collector who sort
this
of.
is kind of random and off topic, but how did you guys feel about in Toy Story 4? They did it for Woody and Buzz. They added new phrases and like cut up some phrases and like m- did like different vocal
No,
takes of phrases.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that sling mover shop phrase, whatever that was called.
Oh yeah, the slingshot maneuver is all we
I
got.
think that was just a bit like just for the plot purpose, like, oh, we need that so he
Mm,
can jump on that thing. But I just feel like, well, toys are gonna have to have that phrase, right?
do
yeah,
you
Don't
guys
do the
know
phrase just
the
for the
YouTuber
scene.
Mike Mozart?
yeah.
He used to make do toy reviews back in
Oh
early
yeah,
YouTube.
He made the fail toys thing.
He knew one of the guys who was a
it
writer on
was
Toy Story
Joe
2,
Ram.
and they apparently modeled Al after Mike Mozart.
That's crazy.
I mean, when you
That
think about
was
it, and you picture Mike Mozart in your head, then picture Al, it makes perfect sense.
I
Yeah, they
knew I
look
should have
similar.
cast him in live action Toy Story 2. That'll be a lot of money to give him a plane ticket to the UK, so
So you need to get Mike Mozart.
I know,
He
right?
follows me on Instagram.
He follows you on Instagram?
Yeah, he's commented on pictures of my dog before.
Oh my
What
god,
the-
that's crazy.
I'm also friends with on Facebook with the guy who created Edit and Eddie. That's completely off topic, but somehow I'm friends with Danny Antonucci on Facebook.
I'm a
That
massive
is
fan of
awesome.
Ed and Eddie show.
Yeah, I'm friends with the creator, and I'm friends. You guys ever seen the movie Hook?
Yeah.
I'm friends with one of the actors from that movie that played one of the Lost Boys, but he's like 30 now.
Oh god.
The most clout I could say I have. You guys remember that video, the Gingers Have Souls video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I make music now, and I do a lot of rap music and stuff like that. And that guy started DMing me and was like, "Yo, I love your music. We should do some music together sometime." And da da da. And I was really close to making a song with the Gingers Have Souls guy.
You
But
should have done that.
there's a oh man, there's so much drama with it. I've wanted to make a video about it for a while, and I think I will, recounting what happened. But it's funny.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
I think we'll close the stream, but before we close, it was any final says with the Buzz Lightyear thing?
Jacob, you want to go first?
Overall, I'm excited for it. I'm a little bit nervous just because of, they're recasting the role. I feel like
Right.
that's my biggest anxiety with it is Chris Evans. But I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna do a good job, but I'm also worried at the same time.
I
Yeah.
hope they do that ending I thought of with the whole prequel with Toy Story 1, because because I kind of overhyped it now, and I feel like when I watch it, if they don't do that, I'm gonna be disappointed. Like, oh god, I really wanted that, and then I'm gonna be expecting it in the whole movie, and then it's like when you watch any Marvel or any MCU film, and you only care about the post-credit scene, and seeing if Spider-Man will come up in the credits or something like that, and it didn't happen, then you're gonna be very disappointed. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, just Pixar, if you're listening, if you have time to animate, please do that.
For me, I agree with both of you guys. You bringing up that ending, I didn't even think about it, and now I legitimately am gonna
I'm gonna do a
kind of
video of
bummed
it
out.
now because I think it's too good.
We've
I'll
given
do a
ourselves
separate.
unrealistic expectations.
I'm
You
gonna do a
definitely
separate
should.
video on it so it can go towards Pixar. They can see it, and that's the only way. If it's like, like if they haven't thought of that, then who is it? Who is the writing team in Pixar? It's
But
genius. Sorry, go on.
no, you're good. At the end of the day, I'm excited to see it, and I am. I, I'm not that nervous because I think if they just play it the way that they say that they're gonna play it, and they're just gonna make it a in Toy Story universe movie from the '90s that's sci-fi and has references to Alien and Predator and Terminator and Star Wars and things like that. I think it'll be hilarious, and I kind of want it to be a little dark. I want it to be a little gritty. I kind of want that kind of
A serious,
like
more tone to the.
yeah. But
Right.
I want that 80s or 90s sci-fi aesthetic. I think would be so cool.
Bit of
Yeah,
Thor
for
Ragnarok. What about Thor Ragnarok? Sort of style.
no. That'd be awesome.
How's Space Buzz like going to? And there's the I forgot his name now. The collector was it?
Yeah,
John Gold. Guy from Jurassic Park. I forgot his name now. Oh my god.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Maybe he'll make a cameo. We never know.
Jeff
Anyway,
Goldblum
guys.
is in the new Buzz Lightyear movie, confirmed.
Confirmed. Anyway,
Yeah,
guys,
here,
thank you
guys.
for
Spread
watching
the
this
message.
awesome Space Edition Buzz Lightyear podcast. Stay safe. More videos coming up, and hopefully we'll do another Toy Story podcast soon. But let us know what else you want us to talk about. Do you want to say any last words, guys?
Thanks for having me, and thanks for listening and watching, everybody.
Same here. Thanks for having me. Hopefully we'll be back to talk about this some other time.
All right, to infinity and beyond.
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 Boom, boom, boom.